Morning everyone, Friday Q&A time. So I have some questions, which is cool. So thanks for sending in your questions to us in advance. So I'm going to go through and give my sort of opinions and advice based on these questions. Probably won't get through all of them today, which is fine. Can use them perhaps next week as well, and maybe the week after even. So hopefully this is useful for not just the people that ask the question, but also for a lot of other people as well. Before we get to that, if you're not watching this live, if you're watching this later, do us a favour, put hashtag rewatch in the comments. If you are watching it live, put a like, do a wave emoji, whatever you want to do. Put some comments in there, ask questions, whatever you feel is relevant, and I'd love to see that. Also a little reminder, so we've got a couple of things coming up still. On the 29th of June is our 8th birthday party, and we're going to be over at Chalkwell Park. It's really good fun. Last year we had loads of people there, played rounders, had stuff for the kids over there, and it was just, really good laugh. So please come along. We've also got a golf day on August the 10th as well. So you've got a couple of options there, whether you want to come and play on a proper course or if you want to go to a place called Caddies in Southend, which is kind of like a indoor crazy golf thing. Let us know. We'd love to see you at one of them events at least. So let's get into the questions. So there's quite a few questions, and I've tried to group them so that they're sort of similar. So the first sort of little group, if you like. So Jill asked, where can I buy a Mojo pill? Hey Daniel. And Kate said, how to motivate yourself to train on your own. And Tracy said, why can't I stick to healthy eating? Is there a book to help me focus? Okay, so let's tackle these bits by bit. So first of all, books. So yeah, books are good resources. The other week, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I shared a few books of mine that I suggest to people. 1 second. So anything by Brian Tracy is really good. That he's kind of the goal guy, if you like. Again, look at that. The video I did a couple of weeks ago, there's loads of different books that I recommended there. So from A Mindset by Carol Dweck, No Excuses by Brian Tracy, and a couple of others as well. But not just books, podcasts are really good. YouTube can be quite good. I find the TED Talks on YouTube can be really, really interesting and really good, especially for like inspiration or motivation. A good podcast is one by a guy called Jocko Willink. He was a Navy SEAL, and his kind of go-to phrase is good. So whether he was on the battlefield and someone's just died, or whether the plan has gone completely tits up, or whether he's gone to the supermarket and they haven't got whatever he wanted, he just says good, and tries to reframe it, and see the positive out of every situation, which is quite interesting, especially on battlefields and things like that. But that's quite a good podcast, but there's obviously millions out there as well. In terms of staying on track, staying focused, I think the best thing you can do, if you haven't already got one, is to set yourself a goal or a target, whatever word you want to use. So it could be that you're going on holiday soon. It could be that you know that you're going to be somewhere where you're going to have your photo taken. It could be that you're getting married or going to a wedding, like you're a bridesmaid or something like that, or it could just be that you just want a completely fresh start. Work out what it is that you're trying to achieve and why. So if you're coming to Club 100, if you've got a specific target, why? What is it that sparked you in the first place? Maybe you've lost sight of that. how will it make you feel if you achieve it? What will happen and how will you feel if you don't achieve it? Again, there's a great video that I did that goes into more detail on all of these points that's in this group that's available to you. I'll try and post a link below. Have a think about that. Set yourself a target. Why is it important to you? How are you going to feel if you achieve it? Also, how are you going to feel if you don't achieve it? Sometimes focusing on a little bit of a negative to motivate you to stay on track is a good thing. Little tips that I use myself and tell people to use from time to time is post-it notes. So if you've worked out why, let's say for example, you're going on holiday and you want to lose a stone because it's going to make you feel so much more comfortable and you're actually going to enjoy your holiday more, be better company for the people around you, and if you don't achieve it, you're going to just feel a bit embarrassed or a bit uncomfortable. Pick some things from that and put on some little post-it notes and put them around the house, around your work, in your car. So when you're on the way to that petrol station and you think, oh, I'll just have a Twix or whatever it is, you might see the post-it note and think, no, I've got that holiday coming up, I don't want to feel like that, or I do want to feel like this or whatever, and that might just give you that extra help. Fridge is always a good one because that's where a lot of the food is stored. Cupboard doors, obviously, for the same reason. And then also find a way that works for you. Obviously, we know that, as you've probably seen, we've just posted a load more before and after photos and videos and results for our latest 6-week challenge. We know that our plan works, but it can be, especially long term, it can be a little bit more difficult to stick to it 100%. So you've got to find a way that works for you. Perhaps, let's say you're currently training twice a week and you're eating off our plan 50% of the time, then maybe for you, stick with that 50% for now, up your training, and then gradually over time, try and make that 50%, 75%, and then 80%. Or perhaps you're following the plan 80-90% of the time, and you're only training twice a week, then perhaps for you, you need to, again, stick with that, the nutrition, just keep doing what you're doing, but up your training more. Okay, so if we somebody else asked here, Tracy asked how to lose weight, and Catherine asked how to get good abs. Well, if you're just following the nutrition plan to the best percentage, if that makes sense, as you can. So what I mean by that is, if you're following our plan half the time and then the other half of the time you're following your old eating habits, over time, if you can get that closer to 100%, and it might take you a while, it might take you 5 years, for example, but obviously, if you want quick results, the quicker you change that percentage, the better. But then the other side of it is training as well. So, are you working hard? Not just in your sessions here. I mean, are you doing anything outside of your sessions here? If you're only training once, twice a week, especially, maybe not initially, but after a little while, your body's going to start to adapt to that, and we need to give it fresh stimulus. That's why we change our session plans quite often, so that you're not doing the same session over and over again, because your body needs that change to adapt by losing weight, losing body fat, getting fitter. So you need to do the same with your own training, and you need to do the same with your nutrition. So I hope that sort of answers some of them questions. In regards to abs, you just need to be lean enough. Everybody has got abdominals. Everybody's got a six-pack, just some people have got a little bit more over the top than others. That's not being harsh, that's just the truth. So to get them coming through, yes, you need to work them, but you also need to be lean enough to be able to see them. So there's no point doing loads of sit-ups if you are a good sort of stone or so overweight. You're probably better off trying to lose that weight and focusing on your time on doing interval training, resistance training that works the full body, things like squats, your press-ups, your barbell exercises, things like that. Until you get to a level where you are a lot leaner, and you probably already notice some lines coming through, and then you can work. If you've got time to do both, obviously do both from the start. But if time's a bit of an issue, I would focus on things that are going to help you burn the most calories and build muscle, and burn fat, basically. So, like I say, your high intensity interval training, whether that be sprinting or going as fast as you can in a pool for one length, and then maybe slow for one length, or doing hill sprints, or on the rowing machine, the bike, the ski ergs, battle ropes, whatever it is. Working hard for short periods of time, short periods of rest, short period of time working hard, short periods of rest, and or resistance training as well. So making your muscles work against whatever load, whether it be your body weight, a barbell, dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever. So to do specific core work, I mean, we did the core workshop the other week, and there's some great exercises in there. There's a video in this group where you can see what ones I personally suggest, and yes, I think they would be a great addition to the other stuff. But if you do them on your own, if you just do abs on their own or core on their own, without all the other stuff, unless you're already really lean, you're kind of missing out. And that kind of links in with another question we've got here as well from Matthew. Why do I still have a spare tyre? I'm pretty fit, cycle, spin, interval train, eat pretty well, don't drink too much alcohol, but I still have a spare tyre. Well, one thing's, I mean, how long have you been doing all of those things? So if you've only been doing those things for 3-6 months, then maybe you just need to be a little bit patient and just keep working. I mean, how long did it take you to get to wherever you was before? If you've only been training for say 6 months, but previous to that for the last 10-20 years you've been eating rubbish food and not training very often, then 3 to 6 months of hard work is good, it's great, but against 10 or 15-20 years is nothing really. So obviously I'm just presuming based on the small limited bit of writing that you've given us. Let's flip that on its head. Let's say that you have been doing cycling and spin and interval training for a long time, like 5-10 years, say, and the same with your eating, but you still have that spare tyre. Well, then let's look at what I said a minute or so ago, where I was saying about changing stimulus. Maybe if you go to the same spin class every week and you cycle, let's say you just cycle into work on the same route every day, and you do, for interval training, you do the same sort of routine, and you haven't changed anything on your eating for ages, then why is your body going to change? That's great for maintaining, but if you want to change your body, you need to change what you're doing as well. So perhaps you need to do more resistance training. You haven't mentioned anything there. You've also said that you eat pretty well and that you don't drink too much alcohol. So that, to me, I mean, what does that mean? I mean, in terms of percentages, is that you eat pretty well most of the time? So does that mean that 50% of the time you're eating rubbish food? Maybe not, I don't know. But it's for you to ask yourself honestly, and then look at and see if you can change it. So a food diary and being completely honest with yourself, even if you show it to nobody, and just writing down what you're eating can give you that percentage. Because if you look at the end of the week, let's say on average you're eating 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, so that's 21 meals. Let's say 20 for easier maths, and let's say that you work out that 5 of them are rubbish, then that means that 25% of your meals are rubbish, obviously. So over time, you can say to yourself, right, I had 5 bad meals last week, I'm going to give myself the goal this week of only having 4 bad meals. And that alone, if you're consistent and keep doing it over time and gradually improve it to maybe 3, and maybe the bad meals become better as well, then that can be enough to make your body change. Maybe look at all your activity that you do throughout the week, and maybe score yourself at the end of each session. Right, how hard did I really work there? Was I really blown out my arse? Was it a 9 or a 10? Or was I coasting for most of the session and really it was about 5 or a 6? Ask yourself, be honest. And if all of you're doing 5-6 sessions a week, but they're all 5s and 6s, then maybe you actually need to do less training, but really push yourself. Or instead of doing an hour, 2-hour cycle, maybe you need to do half an hour, but really push it. Because intensity is the key, really. If you're constantly just working at a low intensity, especially if you've been doing that for a while, then your body's just going to get used to that, and it's not really going to make any difference to you at all. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps you, Matthew, Catherine, Tracy, Kate and Jill, but I hope it also helps more of you as well. Let me know. Put some comments in below. Every week I talk to myself, but it's lovely when I see some people watching, the rewatches, but I also like to see your comments and future questions as well. So please let me know what you've applied as well, because again, I've been doing these videos for a long time, and it would be great to hear what bits of advice that I've given out that you guys have actually followed and have worked as well. So please let me know. Alright, be good, have a great weekend, see you soon. Bye.